Well, hi there, folks. Whoever is on online yet, takes a bit to warm up here and make the transition from to the live stream. So we're due to start in about 5 minutes. So for now, just gonna wait and give some people a chance to get on board. And let me just see if we're getting up live in your neck of the woods just yet. Oh, there we are. Let me open this up here and let me just see how things are transpiring here. Aha. Yeah, we'll just get going in a second. Hey, Judith, how you doing? Yeah, good to hear me. I know. Fred, how you doing, Fred? Nice to see you. I'm glad you can see and hear me. I'll just say hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Remember when I announced this show? I said I'd have a surprise for you tonight. And the surprise for everybody on Saturday was that there was no sound and I had to cancel. But I was trying out some new technology, and so I'm still working on that stuff. But now I'm just going with the iPhone and little setup I have here that's worked successfully in the past, because I don't want to disappoint you guys twice. That's for sure. And I got to tell you, if I did, the lovely Geraldine will come barreling down the stairs and smack me one. So I'm making sure that I get I get things going okay. Still got a few minutes, so just bear with me for a second. How are things in your neck of the woods? Hi, Robin. Hi, Daddy. Hi, Opa. How you doing? Daughter in Toronto. She's tuning in, getting ready, getting the popcorn out. The granddaughter on board, little Gwendolyn. Yeah, the guitar seems to be working, the sound seems to be working, it's all good. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let me just move this here. And again, nice to see a few of you. Hello, Susan Rose. How are you doing? Nice to see you. I hope it won't be too long before we can actually, see you in person. And so far we have Toronto, Vancouver. I'm not sure what other parts of the country we have on so far, but as it comes, let me know. Let me know as I adjust my chair here and get everything ready. Lester Thistle, good evening from Portage La Prairie, Manitoba. So far the sound is good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. It was quite distressing last night when we couldn't get it going. But, such as they used to say on TV back in the 50s, this is live TV. Now they say it's live and it's not really live. But... And, we've all been to a lot of concerts, and things don't always work out as well as we thought. Although I think these days there aren't any concerts going on, so there ain't much of that going on. How's the weather in Portage, Lester? Yesterday it was about 8 degrees here in Souk, and I thought, oh my gosh, the winter's back. But today it was sunny and nice, maybe up to about 12 or 13, something like that. So that's cool. That's very cool. Hello, Bonnie Herbie Gorman Muir. How you doing? Good to see you tonight too, Bonnie. Great to see you, in fact. Again, we're just about ready to take off. And I mentioned that what this evening is meant to be is, and by the way, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and to all those who love their mothers. And one thing about all of us, we share that. We all have a mother. So I'd like to play tonight an entire album, the album of which is called Old Souls, and I'll jump right into it. 22 Celsius here in Port Howard. Well, that's pretty fantastic. So I'll probably jump into it, and we'll talk a little bit later on about that. But part of what I'm hoping to talk about tonight is, the great session musicians I had a chance to play with on this album and on a couple of other records from in Nashville over the last couple of years. Hello, Gailey Bradley. How you doing? How you good? Nice to see you. Nice to enjoy the concert. And people often ask me, why go down to Nashville to record when you can record, right here in Toronto, when I was in Toronto, or in Vancouver when we lived there, or Victoria, where we are now. And I'll get into that a little bit later too, and give you some of my reasons for that. But to start with, let me just start with a little song here called "Across the Talahatchie," and this song comes out of our times on a plantation where the lovely Geraldine and I stayed. They had refurbished, I shouldn't say refurbished, but dragged some old sharecroppers' shacks, put them up on this place called the Shack Up Inn, which is based on an old plantation, which stopped operating as a cotton gin or something around in the 1940s. And there's still a couple of blues guys driving forklifts there in between gigs. And this song essentially is about Robert Johnson.
Women always start to sitting around this
right up their bailiwick, and you know, we crossed the Talahatchie in our car, looking for Robert Johnson's grave, which is just on the other side, and there's a highway there called Money Street. And on that is the Church of the Little Zion, and that's where Robert Johnson's grave is. And there was an old preacher there, well, actually not that old, but he came out and greeted us, and we kind of stood over the, oh, thank you, Fred, giving me some applause there, that's nice. And he took us over to the graveyard, and you know, there's always something there on there. Somebody will leave a bottle of bourbon. I left my card. I said, Robert, call me sometime. And but it's really a kind of a holy place, and this fella became the preacher of the Church of the Little Zion there. I asked him actually, how do you become a preacher? He says, well, you just read the Bible a lot. He says, I read the Bible on Saturday night, and I preach on Sunday. And he said, I don't preach quite so much these days. I've got cancer in both of my kidneys, he said. It was kind of a sad tale. But he had been a guard at the Parchman County Farm, just which not far from there. And somehow the Lord came to him in very extreme ways. And he walked down the street and walked into the first church he saw. And sure enough, they needed a preacher. But back to these session players, which is, again, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this tonight. Because I wanted to... you know, show some respect. And people ask me, like I said before, why do you go and record down in Nashville? You could do it here, you could do it there, and it's you know, it's a lot easier and so on. Well, one thing we always turn to an adventure, that's part of it. But you know, you run into musicians there that you just don't run into anywhere else. I mean, Troy Lancaster, who plays the guitar in all of these songs in many different shades and forms. He's played on 35,000 records. I mean, he just finished a record with Blake Shelton. He's also played with Gwen Stefani. I guess that's since she's been with Blake Shelton. But just very awesome people. And it's what they do. It's what they do. Hi, Sue. Nice to see you. Sue Carol Fellows. Nice to see you on board. So, you know, we... Happy Mother's Day for all. Ah, it's a dinner show. Very, very nice. That's really great. I have to put on a good show tonight or I won't get dinner. You know, I almost didn't get it last night after flubbing the show. But there you go. This is all part of the vagaries of the musical life. Now, here's the next song on this album. And, you know, this is an interesting thing. I've been reading the biography of Neil Young lately. And he's quite a dude. He's in some ways cantankerous, but always he follows his own path and his own muse, and he does what he wants and he doesn't care. And along the way, he's made some people really, really happy. I mean, his album Harvest has probably saved more people from jumping off the bridge than anything else, as well as just being it's pure entertainment value. He digs so deep, and when you see all the things he's gone through in his life, you understand how he can dig so deep. But he says, you know, I still believe in the album because it's something that you. Hello, Betty Clark. How you doing? Nice to see you. Thanks for coming on board. And you know, you put an album together, and it's a statement of time. These songs were all written, really, as I mentioned before, on an old plantation in Mississippi when we were actually doing the pre-production for an album that came before called The Citizens of Nashville. But all of those adventures and things that we saw and things that we did while we were doing that pre-production in the old shack before going to Nashville, all of those things, they just seep into your unconscious. And then when I came back, the songs for this album just poured right out. And it wasn't very long before we were back in Nashville to do this one. So this is a song called Crooked Highway. And there is a crooked road in Virginia, just not too far from West Virginia. Hi, Taylor. Welcome aboard. Taylor Rollins is watching, and it is a road that goes down the road to sort of the birthplace of bluegrass, but the Appalachian country music. And you're passing through the Smoky Mountains, and the reason why they're called the Smoky Mountains is that they are smoky, and through the whole. Let me just open this up if I can. Through the whole...
Hey, how you doing?
Through the whole Smoky Mountains. Let me just make sure I turn this down here. And sound is my greatest friend and my greatest enemy. Very awesome. And hi Bob, sure enough, thanks. And if you go down to the end, you find all of the people that were around. Hi Meadow, my grandchild in Toronto, one of them. And hi Meadow, really nice to see you on here. And what happens is, you know, country music really came out of that place. And you know, much as with Mississippi, they provided the Delta music that went up to Memphis and created the basis for rhythm and blues and jazz. Well, from the other side of the country, from the east side, came all of these songs out of the hills that made their way down to Nashville, and they all melded into what's today country music. The song is called Crooked Highway, and I hope you like it. Crooked Highway. Linda Jean McDermott. Bill says, sounding marvelous, darling. Well, You can look good or you can sound good. I'd rather look good. Darling, you look marvelous. Thank you, Fred. Thank you. Now, this next song I brought to Voice is Strong tonight, Bob. Love this tune. Awesome. Thank you very much. Let me just see if I can get these comments up here. Oh, reconnecting here. All right. I think I got everybody. Don't want to miss you folks. I'm so happy that you decided to join me here tonight. I know you could be doing a lot of other things, and I know you're just here to make sure I get my dose of happiness, and I deeply appreciate that. But I also hope you're getting something out of it too. So I wrote this song, Rodeo Sweetheart. Was actually, I think, the last song I wrote before we headed down to Nashville to do the Old Souls record. And mainly because I said, well, you know, every time I go there, these guys they're more country than they are anything else. They can play anything, I'll tell you that for sure. But, you know, I play a lot of and write a lot of blues and folk-oriented types of songs. Maybe you might call a lot of it sort of country rock. And certainly these days, it falls directly under the country banner more than anything else. Hi, Taylor. Thanks for saying hello. And anyway, we sat down in this session, and the producer, Larry Beard, who again, what a strong performer. He started off, recording people in his garage, and then ultimately opened up his own studio where he has a thriving business. And he has so much business that, of course, hi, Linda. And I got some hearts coming my way. That's so nice. And he began to, he still played, he was a top-notch session musician too before, so he understands, music, that's for sure. But he played on the original record, A Horse With No Name. And interesting enough, and about just before I got to Nashville, he had the America, the group that made that song, which was huge all over the world practically, I think. And he played the 12-string guitar on that. So, of course, after he told me that, I said, well, yeah, we'll hollow out the 12-string, we'll put it on a couple of these songs. But anyway, he said to them, boys, if you can't play this song here, being such a country song, well, you ain't worth your salt. Now, the thing is, we recorded it the first time, and they heard the word rodeo. They heard my demo, they heard rodeo, and they did a real rockin' buckin' bronco type of song before the rodeo. I said, no, that's not what that song is meant to be. It's really, it's a bit of a plaintive ballad of somebody who's lost his love and is looking for another one. So we recut it, and I'm very happy with the outcome. And you can see, the steel guitar on a lot of these, and the dobro as well, but the steel guitar, Scotty Sanders, one of the top steel guys around, and unfortunately there aren't as many around too, because new country doesn't use it a lot. I mean, Neil Young tells a story in his biography, which I mentioned I'm reading right now, about going to Nashville, and he says, all in all, it was a pretty rough experience, but the one thing he did do is he met this guy, I think it was Ben Keith, who's a steel player, and he just brought him back with him, and he's had him for the last 43 years in his band. Now, I unfortunately was not able to bring anybody back with me from Nashville, because the thing that all these guys want is work. If you can give them work, they'll come, and that's why they go to Larry's studio, and that's why you can get these amazing musicians. I mean, the drummer on this, and he figures prominent because he really does map out the song quite well. There's a fellow by the name of Eddie Bayers, and Eddie has been around for a long time, and he's still in the house band for the Grand Ole Opry, which is pretty cool, but he's also played on over 300 gold records, if you can imagine. So he's got a pretty good living. He's bought property all over Nashville, but just a nice, great, down-to-earth guy. But to get him on I think 2 or 3 of my records was just such a thrill, and he could tell you stories when you sit down in between songs. I'll tell you one story he told me. He said, this morning my wife is the director of this conservatory for wounded animals and so on. So we got a call from this woman who said, I just found a wounded bird. and I'd like to bring it in. And so she did. And it turned out it was Carrie Underwood. And she says, well, I don't have much money here. I want to help out. So she pulled out about a few bills and gave her about $100. And he says, you should have just asked her for a blank check. So there you go. The song is called Rodeo, Sweetheart. Certainly one of my favorites now. I've become a convert after going to Nashville so long to some of these solid country songs. Hope you like it. I'm in a roadside bar, but I'll be there all night. And everyone I know has gone home. I struck up some smoke Yes, indeed. Sounded good, Bobby. Oh, thank you, Betty Clark. Happy Mother's Day to all, that's for sure. It's a wonderful day to think about your mother. Now, I always get my tongue in my cheek sometimes when I'm writing songs for an album. I like to have a little fun. But one day the lovely Geraldine was walking by my spot while I was sitting there, guitar in hand. And she said, she was joking around as she does sometimes, and said, "I've got a new skirt and a clean pair of skivvies. I'm going downtown." I said, "Wow, let me write that song." So I did, and that's it. And I wrote it in kind of a gospel type of way. You know, when you're down south in Mississippi, it's quite something. We stopped at a gas station, and this gas station was pretty run down and dilapidated. But anyway, this car pulls up and opens the door, and this fella jumps out, and he goes into the store, but he leaves his door open, and the music is just blasting. And it's something like, "I love Jesus, I love cheese." And I said, that guy's in there singing about cheese. So the lovely Geraldine, she says, no, Bob, he's singing Jesus. I love Jesus, not I love cheese. So there you go. What did I know? It's a good thing I always have somebody around me to straighten me out. Do I need a capo on this guy? I keep forgetting. Okay. All right, so this song is called "It Seems Like It's Too Late." I'm always thinking, you know, in my life, a lot of things I've done have been at times when folks said, "Hey, it's a bit late for you to kind of do that." I went to school later in life. I traveled. I got into business late in life, and now I'm trying to be a rock and roller late in life. So, because I don't think it is, but I wrote this song to question myself about it anyway. Well, it seems like it's too late to wake up from this dream. It seems like it's too late to start all over again. Seems like it's But out of that, you can get It's Never Too Late for anything. Now this next song, one of the top 5. I typically order my songs kind of the first 5, the top ones. You know, you think of it as a symphony when you're ordering. It's probably an art that's getting lost now in this era of singles. We're in the era of singles for songs now, much the same as we were in the 50s and early 60s. But I think we'll be back to albums. We got some people dancing. Go, Linda. And you're a good dancer, so I can almost see you doing it. Thanks, Fred, for that applause. I appreciate it. So when I was traveling in Europe, when I was coming back, one of the first things I did was went to a movie. I hadn't been to a movie for a couple of years or so. And Easy Rider was playing with Henry Fonda and who the heck was the other guy? Anyway, and they're riding these motorcycles through thanks Fred, a couple of thumbs up, through the south, and strangely enough that was something I would continue to do later on. I left in the middle of it. It just didn't for me ring true, but I think I was too in what I was doing before, traveling around, and it was not quite as glamorous as it was. It was actually more in some ways, but there were some pretty rough times when you're trying to make your way from one place to the next and get something to eat and so on. But in any case, my biggest shock was, I had gone just about just before the Summer of Love in 1969. In 1968, I took a freighter from Montreal to Norway. Then traveled down to North Africa, and by the time '69 was rolling around and the huge festivals, I was at the Rolling Stones concert in Hyde Park in '69, around the same time that the famous Woodstock Festival was going on here in North America. But somehow things hadn't changed that much out of all of that, and certainly by 1970, 71, where I got into the thick of it in California and down south, things had really gone south. But in any case, this song goes like this. Oh yes, Henry Fonda and Dennis Hopper. Thank you, Linda. I should be running a little contest and send you a t-shirt for that. I'll send you one of Lester Thistle's t-shirts. By the way, I must say, I don't do this for the money. I do this for the swag. For instance, I got this beautiful cup with all sorts of things on it from the lovely Bonnie Kirby, and I appreciate that. And I have a fantastic lava lamp back here. I'm not sure you can see it, but that was from the lovely Linda, and I appreciate that too. And let me see, and I got this wonderful CD here from our friend in Alberta, who was generous enough to pass that on to me, and so that's what I live for. Now, I'm not trying to shill here for you guys to send me stuff, but if you need my address, just send a message to the lovely Geraldine. I'm sure she'll provide. Just kidding around. Anyway, this was a song that I introduced these folks in Nashville and said, oops, it's not supposed to be touching my face. He said, look, this is kind of folky, and this is when I got Scotty Sanders to bring out his dobro, and you can hear parts of that in the on the song. And I said it's kind of a folk song, and they're okay with country rock, blues, and that sort of thing. But I guess the folky, they're that's not really their thing. And they said, Bob, you have so many words. They're just glad they don't have to sing the words, they just have to play along. Anyway, the song goes like this. It's called The Winds of Change. I was young, I had young dreams. I was tired of all the empty scenes. So I hit the road with my bag in my roll. I headed for the east and the empty road. I came back this way, I had something to say. I wanted to find me a brand new day. But the wind insignificant priest showed them a way to make their tribe increase. They found a collector of enriched magnificent defectors, added a director, and they made such a spectacle none could resist their right to exist. They raised up a fist and it looked like a kiss, and the winds of change kept blowing the wrong way. If I live to be 103, I'll never lose my right to be free. But there ain't no freedom when others are bleeding, and I know I need 'em, so we gotta believe 'em. 'Cause we all need air and not to be scared, but it seems that nobody who's gonna be spared. And the winds of change keep blowing the wrong way. Winds of change keep blowing the wrong way. Yeah, those guys, while they were playing, they said, how many words can you put in one line? Are you trying to break some kind of record there, Bobby? I said, oh no, I'm not trying to break a record, I'm trying to make a record. Simple as that. There's also a great bass player here who's the producer's son, Larry Beard. And you might think he got this job through nepotism, but when it was hard to play on the Jimmy Kimmel show, I'm sure they didn't see him that way. And he was also nominated last year for the Bass Player of the Year award. So he was pretty good. There's no two ways about it. And then the crazy thing about it is that, often when you're recording in Nashville, they record in blocks of 3 hours in the mornings, or from 9 to 12, and then you get lunch, and then 1 to 4 and they can knock off 5, 6 songs in one session. It's quite amazing, 1 to 2 takes, and just the way I like to do it, live off the floor pretty well. Show them a demo, play it for them. They start playing. It's a beautiful thing, and so they I forget what I was going to say. Anyway, this song is called I'm Not As Old As I Used to Be. Oh yes, I do need a capo for this, and that's why I just got distracted there for a minute. This was the song I was talking about before that the lovely Geraldine gave me the first line for, but don't hold her against her. She's not really that wild. But it's a little bit about the emancipation of a woman who decides, listen, I'm just going to go wild here. Do what I need to do. I'm going to do what I need to do. And so the song goes, wait, I'm on the wrong. This capo just moves up and down the keys, and if I hit the wrong one, especially these songs, a lot of them are pretty rough on the voice. They used to say when you went to a Who concert, you better just go halfway through, because it takes that long for Roger Daltrey to warm up. Although I did see him in the Albert Hall in London, and it didn't seem it took too much time for him to warm up. But you know, the vocal cords, I do warm-ups. I've started to do warm-ups before because, I want my voice to last as long as I last, however long that might be. All right, I'm not as old as I used to be. This is kind of from my love of rockabilly. I'm from Elvis and the Shadows and all those kinds of folks. There's Eddie Bears counting us in. best friends, but one's not enough to be my only friend. Driving down the highway like a wild banshee. Look in the rearview mirror, you can see my sweetie. They can keep on chasing me, but they can't chase me. No way. I'm not as old as I used to be. No, I'm not as old as I used to be. Yes, indeed. And part of what I was saying before is that. Nope, now you guys don't get carried away. Is that we work on these two shifts, if you like, and I'm singing along for scratch vocals with these cats, and we have this amazing piano player. But then he says, "Well, I got to go. I can't be around for the next session." Oh, wait, I've got to do something here. Let me just take a second to plug in my my battery here on my phone seems to be a little bit going downhill. Just be a second. If you can bear with me. There, that might do it. There we go. Hopefully we won't run out of power. But then the guy who comes in to replace him, I said, "Whoa, he sounds pretty good." And he had just won the award for Nashville Piano Player of the Year. So there you go. You do pretty well. So I guess I'm up to about my last song here for today. I certainly don't want us to end up in a situation where we run out of power. Now here's the song I'm going to play for you. It's called a song called John Keats, and I have told the story many times, but John Keats was a 18th century poet who turned out to be one of our great poets of the English language, and who in his dying breath basically said, "Don't put my name on my tombstone." And if you do see his tombstone, which is just outside of Rome, it says, his good friend Lord Byron wrote on it, "Here lies a young poet whose name is writ on the water," and that's why I wrote this song. Now there's somebody who plays fiddle on this. I was so lucky to get her, Tammy Rogers. She plays with the Steel Drivers. And Tammy is just an amazing fiddle player, and she's won many awards, and has made her living as a studio musician, but also with the Steel Drivers, and won a Grammy with them. So, you know, again, why do you record in Nashville? Well, that's part of the reasons. Hey, Robin, thank you. Yeah to you. And more applause coming my way. I love these emojis. And so I just saw an article where they interviewed her for the Tennessean, and which is a newspaper or magazine in Nashville. And she said, "You know, today was going to be our biggest year yet." And they had a huge tour planned. They were just really hitting the zenith of their career. And she's been around for a while. She's, she's about 14. And she said, "You know, now there's nothing for the whole year, though. And we had to cancel shows. And, you know, there's truck drivers, there's sound people, there's rental companies. You know, the people that are involved in a major tour. So all of these people out of work and just struggling to get by, which is really sad. But this will all change, especially for talented people like Tammy Rogers. I want you to listen to her fiddle on this. It's something. And thank you, Bonnie Kirby. Hooray, she said, loves this song, and as I do. Wait a minute, I'm sorry, I started this not in the front. Here we go. This made me cry when I first heard it. 25 years of age. He's in a bed with cold sheets. His lungs are collapsing, but his faith is still keen. He rises from sleeping, writes these words from his dreams. Write my name on the water, write my name on the wind. I will still remember all the places I've been. Thank you, thank you. Write my name on the water, write my name on the wind. Joseph 7, when you were my friend. That fiddle is crying. Made me cry the first time I heard it. Came to this land, far from all he had known. One friend to console him from the critics who scorn. He seemed but a sick man to the people he'd meet. Wasted young minstrel, his name was John Keats. That holds you no sway. Words you now read to the world while you speak. Words of a young poet. Words of John Keats. Say goodnight to this young poet. Sleep now, rest what ye may. You are now immortal. Death holds you no sway. The words you now leave to the world while you sleep. Words of a young poet, words of John Keats. Write my name on the water, write my name on the wind. I will still remember all the places I've been. Write my name on the water, write my name on the wind. I will always remember Joseph 7, you were my friend. Thank you, John Keats. Well, thank you very much for all those nice comments. It's a real nice song. Yeah, so thanks. I'm glad I have that CD. Yeah, and only people who have the CD probably heard that fiddle before. I've done many live performances, but I do it acoustically, which I like too, which I like very much. doing. And thank you for all of this. All of you who are touched by this song, I think, have poetry in your soul. You have poetry in your soul, and you understand that we don't know what history will think of us. All we can do is the best we can. Love each other. Do the best we can. Bravo, bravo. Thank you very much. Thank you for spending some of your valuable time with me. I couldn't get through all of the songs on an album. I wanted to, and perhaps next week we can do that, because I had a lot of things I guess I wanted to say, so I hope I didn't yak too much. I tried to play as much as I could, and I do appreciate it. Yeah, that fiddle is great. Yes, Geraldine loves it too. Thanks for the entertainment during the lockdowns. Thank you, Lester. Thanks for appreciating it. I want to say goodnight to you all now. Before I shut everything down, I'll leave it open for a bit. So if anybody else wants to make any comments for the next few minutes, again, thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity to be with you tonight. Good night, and keep on rocking in the free world. There we go. Well, I'm glad some of you like the stories. Robin, thank you. You know, where would we be without family and friends, wouldn't we? Yeah. Well, it's time now. It's time now to end this love fest, and we'll see. Keep on rocking in the free world. Yeah, I'm very strongly influenced right now because of the biography, "Waging Heavy Peace" by our friend Neil Young, and I love that guy, and I can sing a few of his songs. I may play a few of those in the future. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Susan, for the bravo. I really do appreciate it. All right, my time is up. I've only paid the rent till 6 o'clock. Well, I've got 3 minutes, so I'm gonna hang in there before the landlord comes knocking on the door. She lives upstairs, and yes, it's hard not to like Neil Young, especially for those of us that appreciate that he's still rocking and rolling. All right then, I'm now going to finish off and say goodnight until next time, and I'm going to be next time, I guess, 5 o'clock on Saturday. That's my plan, and I think I've got the technology worked out. I'll try not to put you through the agony I did last night. And for those of you that hung in there, you know what, I really, really do appreciate it. Uh-oh, there we go. She's going to charge me extra. You can't yet. It's not even 6 o'clock, so come on now. She's a tough boss, I've got to tell you. I mean, I'm lucky. I think I'm going to get supper tonight. She might even crack me a beer, because I'll tell you, I'd be in trouble. Hello, Diane. Love you too. Fred, thanks for this, Bob. Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Fred. Oh, a big heart from Linda Jean. That's so nice. Yeah, the fiddle is so great. She's on a couple of other tunes. I'll point them out probably when I bring them back. As far as, but she really made her mark, did she, on this record? And I don't even think it's really her style, if you like. I'm not sure what style it is, being a bluegrass artist. But man, she just, and you know, when she walked in, she forgot her fiddle in the car. She ran out, she got it back in time, and these people are notorious for being on time. You know, time is money in Nashville, that's for sure. And she ran through the door, out of breath, whipped that old fiddle out of her case, and what's the key? F sharp. Oh yeah, no problem. And then she heard it one time through my demo, and you know, she just got the feeling of it right away. And I'll tell you, when we brought those demos home that night to the hotel where we were staying near the Vanderbilt in downtown Nashville, or West Nashville. Both the lovely Linda and the lovely Geraldine, you know, listened to it, and you know, that the first time I heard it with that fiddle, it made me cry, and that had always been my ambition when I started to write songs. I just wanted to cry, or to make somebody cry. It turned out I made myself cry. Well, there you go. Anyway, that's all for tonight. I promised to leave, and I will, and I'll let you get to your evening. Again, happy Mother's Day to all the those of you who are mothers and those of you who have mothers. That would pretty well include the whole world. Thanks.